Martin Luther. This is Talk of the Nation. I am Rebecca Roberts in Washington. Today we celebrate the birthday of Martin Luther King as millions of Americans honor his legacy today with a national day of service. We take a moment to reflect on Dr. King's life and message with his own works. Has as we did last year of the historic presidential inauguration, we now receive Kings celebrate. I have a dream. Speech the validity date on August 28, 1963, on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial. Soundbite of achievement recording Dr. Martin Luther King. 5 score years ago, a great American in whose symbolic shadow he stands today signed the Emancipation Proclamations. This is moments. The Queen came as a great become light of hope to millions of Negro selves who had been seared in flames of rights injustice. It came as a just daybreak to end the long night of their captivity. But 100 years later, the Negro is not free. 100 years later, the life of the Negro still sadly clipped by the manacles of segregations and the chains of discrimination. 100 years later, the Negro lives on lonely islands of poverty in the minds of vast oceans of material prosperity. 100 years later, Dr. King is linguished the Corners America Society and himself in exile in host not land, and so we be here today. Dramatic, shameful condition in a sense we be come to our national capital to cash a check when the achievements of our public growth the manifestate was the constitutions and declaration of independence. They were singling compromissory not to greet to which every American was the fault there. With this note was a promise that all men, yes, black men as well as white men, who be warrant the only rights of life, liberty, and person happiness. It is obvious today that America has defaulted on the promises neither insofar as a series of color concern is stated the honoring this is current obligation. America has given the Negro people a bad check, a check which has come back market insufficient funds that Dr. King we refuse to believe that there are insufficient funds in the great values of opportunity of this nation. So we become to crash this check and the check that we give us upon demand to research of freedom and the security of society. Justice. We have also came and Halloween sport to make America of the fires or henshu of snow. This is not time to end luxury of calling of to take the crazy drug of growlings. Dr. King, now is the time to make real promise of democracy. Now is the time to rise from the dark and the develop ballet of segregation to subway mad of racial just. Now is the time. Dr. King to leave our nation from the kick sands of racial injustice to the solid rock brotherhood. Now is the time to make just a reality for all good children. It was the fatal for nation overlook the urgency of moment. This is a sweating summer of the Negro lifetime discovery with not pass until there is an environmenting anthem of freedom and equality. It's not an embodying a beating those who hope that the Negro never to blow off a stream and will know. Be contact we have a route and making if the national returns business as usual. Dr. King, there will neither rest nor tranquility in America until the Negro is great. The 16 writes the writings of rebel with a continue to shake the foundation of national until the bite they are just emergence. But there is sometimes that I must say to my people who stand on the warm chair slot which leads into place of justice. In process of grind or rightful place we must not be golden and grateful. This let us not seek to satisfy or cheese for freedom the by drinking for the cup next and harder. We must forever conduct us strong on the high play of the identity and displays. We must not allow our creativity protest on the degenerate into physical violence again and again. We must rise to majestic heights on meeting physical force with soul force. The maritime military, which has engulfed the Negro community, must not lead us to in distrust of a white people for many of our white brothers, as evidenced by their presence here today, have come to realize that their destiny is tied up with destiny or destiny. And they have come to realize that freedom in extremity bound the our freedom we can hold what alone has a weak walk. We must make the precious that we shall always march as we cannot turn back. There are those who are asking develops of civil rights we will you be satisfied. We can never be satisfied as long as the Negro is the victim of the unspeakable horrors of policy brutality. We can never be satisfied as long as our bodies heavy with the fatigue of travel cannot get loading in the models of the heatwaves on the other sides. Dr. King, we cannot be satisfied as long the Negro's basic mobility is from smaller a greater to large one. We can never be satisfied as long as children are stripped of their selfhood and robbed of their dignity beside the starring. We cannot be satisfied as Logan Negro in Missouri and cannot but vote. And Negro in New York believes he has nothing for which to vote. Dr. King, no, 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 we are not satisfied, and we will to be satisfied until so Justin rolls down like waters and like the sun cells, like a mirror stream. Dr. King, I am not until that some of you have come here out of great trials and tribulations. Some of you have come fresh from narrow jail cell. Some of you have come from areas where you were cast for freedom. Let you battered, be strong of percussions and distracted be the wits of police brutality. You have been the veterans of gravity, so suffering. Continue to work with a fight that enraged sufferings is renting. Go back to Mississippi, go back to Alabama, go back to South Carolina, go back to Georgia, go back to Louisiana, go back to slums and the grids of North cities, and know that some this situation can and will be changed. Let us not wallow in the valley desperate. I say to you today, my friends. Dr. King, so even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. It is dream deeply rooted in America dream. I have a dream that one day these nations will rise up life of training of his grave. We hold his truth to be evident that all men and create equal. I have dreamed that one day of read this Georgia, the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together on table brotherhood. I have a dream that one day, even in state Mississippi, I stay sweating with here injust sweating with heat oppositions will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and just. I have a dream that my four little children with one day life in a nations where they will not be judged be the color of their skin but be the content of their character. I have a dream today. Dr. King, I have dreamed that one day down in Alabama with vicious racists with it governor having his lips dripping with the words of improvisations on notifications one day right down Alabama like black boys and black girls with be able to join hands with white boys and white girls and sisters and brothers. I have a dream that one every valley shall be exalted, every hill and mountain shall be made low. The rough places will be made plain and crooked process will be made straight, and glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all fresh shall see is together. This is our hope. This is in the faith that I go back to the so with this faith we will be able to heal on the mountains of the stone of hope. With this faith we be able to transform the holy discoveries of national into beautiful singing and beautiful with this faith. Um, Able to work together, to play together, to strong together, to go whole together, to stand up friend together, Connie that will free together. This is will be the day when all of good children will be able to sing with new meaning. My country is of the sweet lad of library of the sings lad where my friends die lad of price bright from every mountain's let Frederick write. On America is to be great national. This must become true, and so let freedom right from productions if some who of New Hampshire left the dreams Rakes for Mike Mountains of New York, left from the ring from the hills Alderis on Pennsylvania. Let Fredo like from the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado. Let's friend likes from the curvous slopes on California, but not only that, let friend right from the Stone Mountain of Georgia. Let Fredo rank from Log Mountain Tents. Let Fredo rank from every hill and Mulhay, Mississippi from every mountains. Let's Fredo right. Drink. And when this happens, and when we allow from freedom rank, we when we let it rise from every vigilance and every hamlet from every state and every city, we will be able to speak of that day we all good children, black men and white men, Gills and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics. We able to join hands as saints in the words of the old Negro spiritual. Free at last, free at last. Thank you. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last.